Yeah, I see the title, man. Let's get to it.
This is going to be an interesting show because I believe this show is going to be dealing with a larger issue kind of impacting this current NBA. Now, some of you guys may be aware, but the NBA just recently put together an amalgamation of players to go compete in the FIBA World Cup. So we're all aware of this. And usually how these things happen is that usually you have a head coach that's probably selected by the committee. Then you have his assistant head coaches. These are all coaches of, pretty important teams in the NBA. So you have the coaches, and then you have the players that then make the rosters. You have tryouts, all of these various things. And what they're doing is they're looking for the best, kind of the group that has the best fit to go out there and run whatever offense or defense that they're going to be looking to deploy once the competition ensues, right? So usually this is how it happens. And the way that they kind of prepare themselves for international competition is that they get what you call a select team, right? And essentially what the select team does is that it helps prepare the main team on how other teams are going to be playing. So they play the style of play that their opponents are going to be playing to help kind of hone their skills. So what happened? As the training camp, whatever you want to call it, was underway, the main team ended up losing 2 consecutive scrimmages to the select team. And as a matter of fact, I came across an article here from marca.com. There are a bunch of them covering it, but this is the one I want to read from. And it says, there was always a chance that the select team, a group of young players plus some veterans brought in to help Team USA prepare for the FIBA World Cup might prove a challenge. That's exactly what happened as led by Detroit Pistons guard Cade Cunningham. The select team won both scrimmages. It's reminiscent to a certain extent of that mythical single defeat to the 1992 Barcelona Dream Team against the youngsters led by Chris Webber. The 2023 select team is made up of Cunningham.
Producers, if you struggle finding sounds and samples that work for you, then you have to check out this.
Cunningham, Jalen Durant, Langston Galloway, Jalen Green, Chet Holmgren, John Jenkins, Herb Jones, Eric
USA team. Who's the USA team, man? These are a bunch of rookies. I don't really see too many veterans. Who's Herb Jones? I don't know Herb Jones.
Trey Murphy, Keegan Murray, Peyton Pritchard, Nas Reed, and Jalen Jenkins. Right. So essentially, what happened was this team went on to beat the main team, which is a bit of an embarrassment. So much so that former NBA players actually started to comment on it. Now, as you guys know,
is that big of a deal, y'all? I ain't know it was that big of a deal. Like when I first hear it, it's like it sounds like it's a scrimmage. Like it don't sound that too big of a deal to me, but maybe it is. Let me know how y'all feel in the comments.
Gilbert Arenas has his own podcast. It's called Gil's Arena, and he's pretty outspoken. So what happened? I was doing some research this morning, and I came across an article from the Sports Rush, which essentially was reacting to the comments that Gilbert Arenas made. In this case, they were actually pointing out what Shaquille O'Neal had to say about Gilbert Arenas' comments about this new team, about this current team that we have, this current crop of players that we have going into the FIBA World Cup. So before we get into that, this video is brought to you by sponsor Aura, who's also the official blog from some happy. Thank you. So basically, the article just basically says the USA FIBA World Cup team has been receiving a lot of criticism in the past few days. The lack of superstar players on the roster, the loss of the select team in 2 consecutive scrimmages, everything about the team has started to concern the NBA community. Former Washington Wizard player Gilbert Arenas recently took a shot at the team, calling them a sorry-ass group for their poor performance and a nondescript lineup. Shaquille O'Neal shared Arenas' views on his Instagram stories, perhaps highlighting the issue at hand. So what we want to do is want to actually put up what Shaq said, or what Shaq put on his Instagram story, and there you can see.
See what I'm saying? I'm about to say, like, who's on the same? This is the best. These are the best players from the United States that are in the NBA right now. You can't tell me that they're not. They're not, bro. What's up? Why are these players not playing on the national team?
Is essentially concurring with the views that Gilbert Arenas put out there. Now, here's why I said this is a larger issue here. What I've noticed is that to some, not all, the NBA has become a right more than a privilege. What do I mean by this? In the past, a lot of players that came into the NBA viewed playing in the NBA as a privilege. And when they went there, they respected the game. They did their best to play as many games as possible, to show up for the fans, to actually give a damn about their careers. Like, that was actually a thing. But as time has gone on, what I'm beginning to notice, and I think it's something that a lot of people are noticing, I don't think I'm the only one noticing this, is that more and more players are caring less about the game, and they seem to be more focused on what the game brings instead of the game itself. Primarily, the money, right?
I feel, bro, because I was saying this in my other reactions. It seems like it's just a loss of passion. Like, it's not enough passion out there. Like, it's like these people don't want to be out there to play the game. It's like they're not getting paid the millions to play the game that they love, that they grew up playing. Well, some of them didn't grow up playing. Some of them were just blessed, tall as shit, big as shit, you know. But I don't know.
Right? The NBA now has become, and I'm sad to say it, is looking like a grift for some people. They're like, okay, I'm going to work my tail off, find a way to get into the NBA, I'm going to make my money, and then I'm run off scot-free with the bag, and that's it. Right? And you're seeing this. One of the ways it was exhibited in terms of the lack of respect and just overall effort that these guys are putting into the game was during the last All-Star game. A game in which head coach of the Denver Nuggets, Mike Malone, if I'm not I think he was the head coach at the time, or Taylor Jenkins, I'm not sure, but one of them said that it was the worst basketball game they have ever seen in their lives. That was a game that this current crop of NBA players put out for the public to consume. It was an absolute disaster, a shamble of a game. But this is where we are. Where am I going with all of this? I want to quickly give you guys a quick rundown of this current team's roster. In this current roster, you have Paolo Banchero, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Johnson, Walker Kessler, Bobby Portis, and Austin Reeves. And then for the staff, you have Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Tyronn Lue, Mark Few. Hell of a coaching roster. Let me give you guys Team USA for the 2012 games. Let me give you the roster that they had then in 2012. Tyson Chandler, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, Darren Williams, Andre Iguodala, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Love, James Harden, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, and Carmelo Anthony. Let me give you guys a 2018. Carlos Boozer, Jason Kidd, LeBron James, Darren Williams, Michael Reed, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, and Carmelo Anthony. Now, let me ask you guys a question. What do you notice? What do you notice? Well, what I notice is
those are the top guys in the league every time that are playing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I noticed.
In those two previous teams, you had by far the best players in the world, by far. The best players in the world willing to go into this tournament to represent their country. They were not above it. Don't even make me bring up the Dream Team. They were not above it. But this current crop of NBA players are like, nah, man, I can't be bothered with that.
Yeah, like, I don't understand why the NBA players are not playing in this. What's going on? I don't understand.
Well, how much y'all going to be paying us? Like, you want me to go out there and put forth an effort? Is there going to be any money involved? Like, y'all got to convince me. Y'all really want me to go out there and compete for this? Really? Y'all want me to be a part of this? Like, come on, man. I can't be a part of this. I'm too flawed.
Shout out to Anthony Edwards, though, man. Shout out to Anthony Edwards. I he's been one of my favorite players since he was in high school, bro. I've been watching him for a long time. You know, I heard he's one of the only players who played, I think, 80 games or 82 games, somewhere near there. You know what I'm saying? He's playing a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? He's keeping that standard up, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know Kobe and so many top 10 players and top 50 players, top 75 players. I know they competed, but I just feel like I'm too good for all of this. I'm too good for all of it. Y'all don't need me. What is the NBA turning into? What's the NBA? I think I recently heard John Moran said there's no way he's competing, or one of his teammates said he's not competing in the slam dunk. I like that's beneath him. So a contest that.
If I lost it all and I had to start from scratch, here's what I do to get back to 6 figures a year in 4 steps. So step 1.
Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Spud Webb, Kobe Bryant, Tracy McGrady, Jason Richardson, Blake Griffin, all of these all-time great dunkers, Andre Iguodala, all of these guys competed in it, but y'all are too good for it. Like, they did it, but that's beneath these guys. Yeah, I'm going to play an all-star game. Yeah, I know in previous all-star games you had Kevin Durant, Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson. I know you guys play defense, but to be quite honest with you guys, I think that's beneath me to play defense. Like, why am I playing defense? How much are y'all paying me? This is what these dudes sound like. And I don't know what Adam Silver is promoting out here.
Nah, for real. That's the root of the problem. You know? Something got to change. Something got to change, man. Something got to change, boy.
And a lot of this translates to the lack of defense you see played in this era, which to me is incredible. An era where there are no defenders, and people are talking about this is the most skilled defensive era. Who are the best defenders of this era? Who?
I don't know about who said that. Most skilled defensive era? Nah, they crazy. They crazy with that. They're bugging out.
Who's the Tolly Allen of this era? Who's the Dwight?
See what they're trying to say, because you can't really touch people, but nah.
Howard of this era. Who's the Ron Artest of this era? Who's the Kobe Bryant of this era? Like, y'all name who's the Scottie Pippen of this era? Who are the defenders? Who the Tayshaun Princes of this era?
Talking facts.
Who the Shane Battiers? Who the Bruce Bowens?
That's the end of this one though, y'all. You know how Dreamers Pro, where he ran and talking this shit, man. Let me know how y'all feel about this video. You know, it's crazy. My opinion is it's crazy. I don't understand. You know, a free basketball tournament, you get to play for free. You know what I'm saying? You get to play for free, go overseas, see a whole bunch of great things. You know what I'm saying? Travel the world and play basketball, bro. That should be good enough, you know? That should be good enough. You already got money. You already got some money, you know? That's crazy. Because I'm realizing, like, yeah, they probably dead not getting paid to play for the USA team. And that's probably why they're not trying to do it. That's crazy. They probably trying to do their other business ventures over the summertime, you know? But, like, you got to put some shit aside. Put it aside right now. We gotta get this for the country, man. For the country. I'm out of here, man. It's crazy. Turn on post notifications. Click on the last reaction over here. Subscribe. Share the video with your peoples on social media platforms. I'm out of here.